52 Traders, episode 115.
Do your own research and not rely on third parties, and also be able to keep it really, really simple.
Join Cam every week on the 52 Traders podcast or at 52traders.com to learn how to trade like the pros. This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not investment, trading, or financial advice of any kind.
What's up, traders? Welcome to another installment of the 52 Traders podcast. I'm your host, Cam Hawkins, and today we have Bryan Downing on the show. Now, Bryan's a quant trader, and he's mates with some of the other quant traders that have been on the show, so he has got quite a lot of knowledge in this space, and he shares a lot of that with us today. In actual fact, it's a different angle from what we've heard in the show to date, and it's an angle that will give you an edge and teach you how these guys who are doing the quant trading stuff get an edge and give you an idea as to potentially what you might want to avoid or what you might want to get into. So before we get into that, first of all, I want to tell you about something I've learned this week, which I think is quite insightful, and it sort of pigeonholes most of you guys out there listening in a quite a unique way. And the way it looks at it is, right, most of us out here are either, well, I'm assuming that a lot of the guys listening, or a lot of you guys listening, are in a job, right? So you're in a job, you go to work, you commute to work, you go to work, you work with a whole bunch of people, you come home, you sit in front of the TV, or you might actually even turn on the trading charts, or do a bit of education, do something that is in, it's your comfort zone. It's where you want to be. It's what you've worked all day for. It's what you've been uncomfortable for to get to at the end of the day. So you've gone to work with, what I learned this week was, you've gone to work into, it's basically, it is Zombieland, right? It's Zombieland at work. So you've got a whole bunch of people turning up like zombies every single day, doing the same thing to get to their comfort zone, okay? So they're getting uncomfortable before they get to their comfort zone in the evening where they got a bit of free time, or if they go on annual leave for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it is a year, they're doing all this uncomfortable stuff to get to this comfort zone. But here's the kicker, right? You guys are a bit different. You guys listening are a bit different. Why are you different? I'll tell you exactly why you're different, because you're listening to this, right? So you're listening to this because you want to find out how to get out of the zombie nation that is in the workforce today. Okay, so you're listening to this because you're trying to work out how do I get out of this zombie-like state that I'm in every day with these people that are in this zombie-like state. So you've seen the light and you want to get there, and the way to get there is to essentially, I'm not saying just listen to this podcast, but this is a good way to do it, because the way to get there is to identify the people that are where you want to be, right? So the guys that are where you want to be, and the guys that are where you want to be are essentially on the show. I don't think, there might be one or two on here in the 90-odd traders that I've interviewed that actually have a day job and are doing the trading. Okay, so most of these guys have given up the day job because they are trading for a living. And you're listening to the show because I'm guessing most of you want to be in that space and be trading for a living. So the way to do it, how do you get from where you are now in this zombie-like state? Well, I'm not saying you're necessarily in that you're breaking out of the zombie-like state, and so am I. I'm in the same boat. I'm not trying to say I'm different. We're breaking out of this zombie-like state because we're identifying the fact that there's guys over there having a lot of fun, doing what they're doing, trading the markets every day with no boss. The boss is their market per se, but these guys have got freedom. They've not only got financial freedom, they got freedom to do whatever they want, pretty much whenever they want, within their trading. And how do you get there is the question, right? How do you get to that point where you're in the same spot? Well, you've got to move towards them, right? We've got to move towards them. We've got to move, and I learned all this week, so I'm not just coming up with this. So you've got to move towards them, and once you get there, once you get close enough to them, then this is when the magic happens, okay? Because these guys are like over there on that island doing a whole bunch of stuff, and you want to find out how they do it. So then you've got to stand on the shoulders of those giants, okay? So we've got to really try and understand the detail of what they're doing, because we can see that they're doing really good stuff, but we've got to understand the detail of what they're doing, which means for us investing in the education, investing in finding out information to help us move from Zombieland to a better land, okay, a non-zombie like society. So this is my sort of little rant of the week, something I learned. Hopefully it makes sense. The main things to take away are you're currently, or most of us are currently either living in this zombie world, going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home, having a weekend, doing the same again. We can see where we want to go. We want to be where these guys are. Hence why you're listening to the show, and I know you want to be there as well. This is why you're listening to the show. To get there, we need to go and reach out to these guys and make a commitment to learn from whichever ones appeal to us, feel that are most sort of aligned to what we're doing, and then we've got to learn. And we've got to sit there and learn and trial things as well. So we've got to trial things, and they're not going to work every time, okay? Because these guys have got different mindsets. So we've got to try and educate ourselves into that mindset. Try things, fail, learn, move on, and then we're not going to copy exactly the same things. We're going to come up with a slightly different version of what they do. Okay, so hopefully that was useful and it wasn't just a complete and utter waffle. I'm going to try and bring a few more of these to the show in the coming weeks when they do hit me, and I do think it is something quite worthwhile mentioning to you guys. Okay, so hopefully you liked it. If you didn't, don't let me know. If you did, flick us an email. Right, without further ado, let's get on with this show from Bryan. Right, so guys, here we go. We're back on 52 Traders. We've got Bryan Downing with us, and this isn't the first time I've spoken to Bryan. In actual fact, I spoke to him earlier today because this is our second attempt at doing this interview after a calamity of errors just resulted in the fact that we recorded our hour and 15-minute interview. It was about that. We recorded that, and it only recorded his voice. So it's probably good because you guys are probably sick of hearing my voice, and you probably don't need to hear my voice, but I'm sure you don't want to sit there listening through like 20 minutes of just silence waiting for him to talk again and not knowing what he's talking about, or me trying to dub over it. It just would have been a joke. So, guys, here we are again for the first time for you guys anyway. Hopefully Bryan's not going to wet himself over there in Toronto, Canada. It's probably a bit later for you now. So, Bryan, do you want to give the guys a bit of an update as to who you are and your background and stuff? I know I've heard it all like a few hours ago,
sure.
But let's go for it.
On the second go-round, I'll keep it real short. But as I said before, thanks for doing this. I appreciate it. Thanks for anyone who's listening. I've been just a software developer since I've been 14, and evolved through the wind of software development and career stuff. I ended up doing what I'm doing today, which is obviously trying to focus on automated trading. Short and sweet. Is that okay?
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So Bryan's what we sort of call in the business a quant, and he's been doing it for a while. So I suppose let's get into the show here, Bryan. And how did you first get into this business? You sort of started off. Maybe even talk about what was your education like back in the day? Did you leave high school and go straight into a job, or how did that start off?
Well, I'll just start on, I've always been an entrepreneur. And then back in 08, 09, as I said, in the first version of this, I went into a typical bookstore and then discovered Dr. Ernie Chan's book, running an independent quant algo trading business. And I was kind of fascinated by that. So I started thinking this would be a perfect blend for me to merge my software development skills and my love for the financial markets. And then I started realizing, there's some math here and how to work on that. So that's how I started back in 08, 09. Then I launched my website, turned my website into sort of a membership type of service. And that's how I've been able to survive as I've gone through the journey of learning the algo trading or automated trading stuff.
And I suppose if we sort of piece together the story from there, like, so you picked up this book from Ernie Chan, who's been on the show before, and basically runs his business is running, quant, well, I suppose running algorithmic trading programs on markets for. Has he got a hedge fund? I can't remember. Has he got a fund that he runs?
He does.
He's got a fund that he runs. So he's got guys helping him. He's doing his own stuff. He's doing a lot of. It's very sophisticated, and you're sort of more, I suppose, on it as a to counter that, you're more the sort of retail guy who's in there doing similar things, but probably not as sophisticated as him.
Do it myself is probably the better way to put it. Because like that's where I was fascinated by running the algo trading business to be more of an independent trader. As I said in the first version of this, that I like to focus on researching my own trading ideas instead of, we're trying to eliminate having to rely on third party and other sources to get trading ideas from. So that's what I kind of more focus on.
And so talk us through that journey between, so it was 2008-9 that you picked up this book. When did you start the website, and how did you get to that point where you got fully ingrained in this industry of algorithmic trading?
Well, I picked up the knowledge through Ernie. I started really experimenting with a lot of different software and programming languages, and it took me a while to finally figure out what works and what doesn't work. I've always been told by one of the guys I told you earlier about that really, he was one of these 9-digit kind of guys. He says, you really got to focus on rolling your own type of trading platform and trading strategies. So that's what I kind of did and focused on. And as a result, it's made my trading capabilities a lot more honed in. And as I said, I'm not so dependent upon other sources other than data. And as we all also talked about, the first version was my love for the process of going through that Bloomberg News app for those ideas. So that's the other big journey, I guess you could say, or big takeaway over the last few years.
I suppose I could always piece together that other interview, and just so the guys, if we miss stuff out here and we don't cover it, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll piece it together, and you can just listen to Bryan's answers, and it might give you some further insight into what he does. But anyway, we're going to go through all this stuff today, and again, for everyone. So I suppose let's get some insight into your trading. I mean, what does it look like these days? We want your trading style and your approach, and some of the stats around what you do. Right, folks, hope you enjoyed that preview of Bryan's episode today. Now, if you do want to listen to the full thing, jump onto 52traders.com. There will be a link in the show descriptions of the show on your phone. So if you want to dive in there, you should find it. Sign up as a pro member, and what you'll get is not just Bryan's episode, but all the other episodes under the pro membership, and you'll be able to listen to them in full, get any marked up charts, videos, and also all the show notes as well. So guys, dive over there. It's $4.97 for access to all of that. And on top of that, if you're feeling a little bit light on podcasts to listen to, if you got spare time like that you're trying to fill up and you want to educate yourself a bit more on trading, then I do recommend checking out my Trading Mentors Match Off series, which will be a 21 episode series interviewing 3 traders and 3 mentors. And we're actually we've got 4 traders and 4 mentors that we're following along this journey of discovery to see if we can get some profitable traders out of the show and monitor it along the way with these mentors and see where we end up. So it's getting towards the end, so it's getting pretty exciting. There's a whole lot of content in there already. I think we've got 17 episodes recorded so far. The next 3, I'm actually about to record one in about 20 minutes, an update. So, guys, I do urge you to jump on board. There is a lot of knowledge, education, insight in here that will change the way you look at the markets, the way you think about the markets, the way you think about trading. So, check that out. And last but not least, there are 4 spots remaining on Andre's mentorship. So, if you do want to take one of those last 4 spots, so he did open up 10 more spots. If you do want to take one of those up, then please dive over to 52traders.com/Andre, and you'll get access to that as well. And last but not least, if you're looking to automate any of the stuff that you're doing and you use the MetaTrader platform, or if you don't use it and you want to use it, then head over to my other site, automatemytrading.com, where I teach people how to build trading robots so they don't need to go and spend money on trading robots. They probably aren't going to work, okay? I teach you how to do it. There's a little community over there, so you're not alone. There's 30-odd downloads you're going to get straight off the bat, and more that keep coming with a lifetime membership. So check it out, automatemytrading.com. And there's a video you can watch where you actually get a free robot and I'll show you exactly how I make it. Okay guys, remember to jump on to 52traders.com/pro to get that pro membership, hear the full episode and all the others. Until next time, catch you later.